By now, you've heard me mention the International Association for K-12 Online Learning, or iNACOL. iNACOL is the international leader in K-12 online education. iNACOL's mission is to ensure all students have access to a world-class education and quality, blended, and online learning opportunities that prepare them for a lifetime of success. iNACOL is a nonprofit organization focused on research, developing policy for student-centered education to ensure equity and access, developing quality standards for emerging learning models using online, blended, and competency-based education, and supporting the ongoing professional development of classroom, school, district, and state leaders for new learning models. To learn more about this organization, please visit their website at www.inacol.org. iNACOL has developed and refined 3 sets of standards, 2 of which are important in this course, including the iNACOL National Standards for Quality Online Courses and the iNACOL National Standards for Quality Online Teaching. Let's begin with the standards for quality online courses. The purpose of these standards is to provide various stakeholders with a set of quality guidelines for online course content, instructional design, technology, student assessment, and course management. These standards have 5 overarching areas, including content, instructional design, student assessment, technology, course evaluation, and support. If you turn to page 7, the standards begin with Section A, Content. This section of the standards looks to ensure courses allow learners multiple ways of engaging with learning experiences that promote student mastery of content that's aligned with content standards, such as the Common Core Standards in the United States, Norway's national curriculum, or perhaps the curriculum aims in Hong Kong's curriculum and assessment guides. For example, Section A, Standard 3 reads, "The course content and assignments are of sufficient rigor, depth, and breadth to teach the standards being addressed." You can see that the standards go into great detail to ensure that those content standards and required assessments are evident in the course. The Section A standards for course overview and introduction are defining what sorts of information and resources learners will need at the beginning or possibly even before starting the course. iNACOL didn't leave out legal and acceptable use policies. Clear policies enhance all learner experiences and help keep all parties out of trouble with each other and the law. Section A ends with Standards 12 and 13, which are designed to help any person teaching an online course be a successful and supportive instructor by having all necessary resources and answer keys. Now, let's take a look at Section B, which is titled Instructional Design. Section B ensures that the course uses activities that engage students in active learning. A high-quality course must offer multiple learning paths that address student needs. For example, Section B, Standard 5, requires courses to push learners to use higher-order thinking and critical reasoning skills. Section B also introduces us to the types of interaction expected in quality online courses. In addition to the previously introduced student-to-content interaction, there are other types of interaction to include in a course. Student-to-student interaction takes place through a discussion forum, emails, peer reviews, collaborative learning tasks, and other formats that encourage communication between peers. The instructor also interacts with the student in high-quality online courses using many formats to convey feedback on learning and student progression through the course. Section C addresses assessments. It's important for any course to use multiple strategies to measure student readiness and progression through a course. This does not only engage all students, but it provides students with flexibility and options, which are especially important for students with disabilities. Assessments should also result in students receiving meaningful feedback that can help them on their learning journey. Section D addresses the technology in the course. Does the course take full advantage of a variety of technology tools? Does it have a user-friendly appearance and navigation? Is it accessible to all learners? We'll talk more about accessibility in a later module. Section D also addresses copyright and security issues that course developers need to consider. The last section of the Quality Online Course Standards is Section E, Course Evaluation and Support. This section goes beyond the scope of this class. However, take a quick look and get familiar with it too. While revising your instructional methods and resources is valuable in the face-to-face classroom, this is also critical in the online environment. iNACOL's National Standards for Quality Online Courses are especially helpful to the teacher who's designing instruction. Whether you're developing a single module or an entire course, these standards should be on the forefront of your mind when designing blended or online instruction. Now, let's take a look at iNACOL's National Standards for Quality Online Teaching. The purpose of these standards is to provide a clear set of guidelines for quality online teaching. You may recognize some of these standards. These standards informed the pre- and post-assessments for this course so that you can effectively measure your progress in mastering this course's objectives. We aren't expecting each of you to become proficient in all of the standards through this introductory level course, but we are expecting you to see improvement. This document outlines 11 teaching standards, each supported by several detailed measures. Think about where you already have strengths among these standards. Standard A. Do you know the primary concepts and structures of effective online instruction, and are you able to create learning experiences that enable student success? Standard B. Are you able to use a range of technologies that effectively support student learning and engagement in the online environment? Standard C. Can you plan, design, and incorporate strategies to encourage active learning, application, interaction, participation, and collaboration among students in an online setting? Standard D. Are you prepared to promote student success by providing clear expectations, prompt responses, and regular feedback? Standard E. Are you able to model, guide, and encourage legal, ethical, and safe behaviors using technology? Standard F. How prepared are you to address the diversity of individual student needs and incorporate accommodations online? Standard G. Are you able to create and implement online assessments that are both valid and reliable? Standard H. How skilled are you at developing and delivering assessments, projects, and assignments that align to your standards-based learning goals online? Are you able to use that data to measure online student progress? Standard I. Are you competent in using data from assessments and other sources to modify instructional content and guide student learning online? Standard J. Do you interact in a professional manner with colleagues, parents, and other community members in efforts to support students? And finally, Standard K. Can you arrange media and content to help your students and peers transfer knowledge in the online environment? How well did you fare when you took your pre-assessment for this course that's based on these standards? Do you have a strength in one or more of the standards? Where are your weaknesses? How do your past teaching experiences influence your responses to these questions? How do your past learning experiences influence your responses? What are your goals for improvement among these standards, and how do you plan to meet those goals? Do you have any suggestions for your peers? I'd like you to answer these last questions and discuss your responses with your classmates on our discussion forum. And keep an eye out. You'll see these standards in the form of a self-assessment again in future modules.